Hey, I'm Armin van Buuren. I've been voted #1 DJ of the world 5 times. And I just turned 40. You see what happens here? It all comes from here. These days, you can't be a DJ without producing your own tracks. And guess what? That's what I love the most. I mean, this is fun. But being surrounded by all my musical toys and just playing, not minding what my hair looks like, throwing on my sweatpants, oceans of coffee, and ultimately just create. And you have toys and toys.
Kijk, dat is nog eens een studio.
Tom Holkenborg, aka Junkie XL, left Holland 14 years ago to just compose. And he took it a bit too seriously. Man, for me, this is heaven.
Hey, hoe is het, man?
Ja, heel goed.
Ja? Ja, want de laatste keer dat was ook meteen de eerste keer dat we samen die festivals deden in Australië. Weet je dat nog?
Two Tribes.
Ja. In 2002 was dat, eind 2002. En daarna ben ik verhuisd hier naartoe.
Ja. Nee hoor, niet 1 MS-20, niet 2, maar gewoon 3.
Nee, ik heb er 6.
Vet man, het is echt een Toy Store dit.
Unbelievable. What a musical man cave. I never looked like this. 20 years ago, this was my cave.
Hoi, dit is Armin van Buuren.
Oh, so cute.
I'm gonna finish this mix and enjoy.
Back then, my music sounded like this. Communication was my first release that people really got excited about.
He came to my house with a CD in his hand and he said, listen to this. And that was communication.
Communication was definitely like the sound of that moment, you know? There was this huge wave of this big epic trance sound that came out of Holland. And communication was just answering that same call.
I put it in the machine and I get goosebumps everywhere. I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. And I was blown away. I couldn't believe. I said, yeah, now you have this is the thing. Now you're going to be huge.
This was really going well. I entered a world which I couldn't have imagined. I didn't belong there, but still, there I was.
We had no idea that you can even become famous with that kind of music. Yeah. We had not the slightest idea that it was possible. Being famous never occurred to us, never.
I was just thinking as a regular guy making music, and I didn't expect it at all that he would be so famous.
Besides working with Cyber Records, I teamed up with United Recordings.
So I met Armin when I was still at Outland Records, and then when I started United, he sort of came with me. I think he was an amazing producer straight away, because I'm not a big fan of trance music at all, but Blue Fear I understand. Armin took off, and with Armin the label took off.
I created my very first solo album called 76, named after the year I was born. And yep, I'm a nerd, so the album was exactly 76 minutes, the maximum length a CD could be. Burnt with Desire was on there. And then came a lot of other songs too. And all of a sudden I had to develop another profession, acting. I guess that'll never be my favorite. But it looked pretty cool in the video.
When Armin started making 76, his debut album, in hindsight I think he already was talking to Michael and Dave about starting his own record company. Armin was a very important player in our team. So when he left United to start his own record company, it was pretty painful. At the time, Armin already understood that if he would have his own record company, he would have those people around him working for him. As a businessman, I only have to applaud him for that, because it's an amazing idea. I listen to the music, I see him on television, and it's always a little bit awkward, of course, because it's like seeing your girlfriend who you had a really interesting and fun relationship with somebody else. It's always a bit painful, I think.
And Theo is right. Of course it was hard to leave, but I felt the urge to spread my wings. So with pain in my heart, that's what I did. Electronic dance music was not taken seriously by the major labels. There was a guy who thought there must be a better way.
Dance music is typically a sound which fits an independent company. You know, it's fast, you need to be flexible, and all those things are not really the case at a major company. And then one day, Armin asked me to join him on a trip, and this is where we discussed the possibility of working together and set up a company, which is now called Armada.
Young guys starting something new. Best feeling ever. Cake, empty office, and then what? But we hit it off quick.
And this is how we started, and we did not have any staff members yet. David had staff because he was already running his own agency, DLP Productions. He was managing Armin. We decided to manage Armin together. So live side, fully Dave parts, and the music side, my part. But then we started hiring people as well. And now, 15 years later, between all the companies together, I think there are over 200 people working here in Amsterdam.
Who would have thought that Armada would become what it is today? It's not only a label for my music, but for a lot of talent. We have more than 80 different artists signed to the label. Talent who we can guide.
Well, the way I feel about Armada is they're family. I've been here for 11 years now, and I know so many other people there. Michael has always been so supportive of me. He's always taken me in. And they believed in me when nobody else did. Strange guy from northern Norway, and they took a chance on me, and it worked out.
A couple years back, I was really at the moment that I was almost quitting making music because nothing was happening. DJs weren't playing it, and all of a sudden, Armin played a record of mine in Mexico, and my Twitter timeline blew up like, "That's a Roger record. It's the first record of the show," and yeah, that was like a life-changing moment for me. That I finally got like recognition that a big DJ is playing my records, you know, and that motivated me to continue.
It reminds me of the time I tried to get my foot in the door. A time when things were constantly growing. And with Armada, we wanted one thing specifically, the holy grail for any DJ. It was 2007. I remember being at the airport on my way to China, and I got a call from David Lewis. He said we were it. I was it. I was voted the #1 DJ in the world. How could I, this nerdy kid, a technology geek from some suburb in the Netherlands, become the #1 DJ in the world?
Ja, hij is wereldkampioen, zo mag je dat zeggen, als je door het Britse magazine DJ wordt uitgeroepen tot de werelds beste DJ, Armin van Buuren. Van harte gefeliciteerd, man.
Dankjewel.
In alle kranten, in alle journaals, je hebt het gehaald. Het is een belangrijke prijs. Schets ons even wat dit betekent.
Nou, het is een beetje te vergelijken denk ik, met de Oscars. Zoiets als voor filmmakers of een gouden medaille op de Olympische Spelen. Dit is het hoogst haalbare.
There was like an acceleration on his career, and that basically means that for me there was like an acceleration on all the opportunities popping in.
Welcome to BBC News. In tonight's stories, we're going to go back to London and see an award ceremony for one of the biggest idiots on the planet. It's Armin van Buuren. It's going to be, well, see for yourself.
A lot of our viewers won't quite know about, you know, the kind of dance DJ live and, you know, how big you are and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice to
Well, it's a worldwide thing. It's been the voting comes from 167 countries around the world, 350,000.
You tell me that.
That's kind of
350,000 people.
Being #1 was very important for Armin. It was something he had to achieve somehow.
In the beginning, when he had the #1 status, it changed some things, yeah, because there was even more pressure. When people expect the #1 DJ in the world, they even have higher expectations, and that's what he felt tremendously.
He felt that the audience came to a show of Armin when he was #1 differently, so they expected too much. And other people came to check him out. Whoa, you're #1? Oh, let's see.
And that's the reason why he was pressuring himself even more. So it did something with him.
It made him insecure, I think, somewhat.
But if you are young and you know, like, hey, I'm now the #1 and this is the opportunity to see my fans in Chile and in Peru and in Argentina and in Brazil. Oh, let's do that extra date, you know? That's what you do because you wanna please your fans. The only thing is that it's taking a lot of energy from your body. It's not about that performance, it's about how to get there and everything. That's taking a lot of energy.
We have been worrying a lot about his health, really. You cannot imagine what it does to a person when you have never a full night's sleep, suffering from jet lags all the time. What will that do with him? Maybe it kills him even. We were really worried about that, isn't it?
My mother sent his manager an email, really worried about his life.
Of course, being the #1 DJ in the world 5 times had its downside. I felt a lot of pressure. Maybe it was even a burden sometimes. But still, this award meant so much to me. At a certain moment, I almost got used to the feeling.
Since I won it the first time, DJ Magazine, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and more important and bigger and more important.
Het zou toch gek zijn als het Guetta niet is? Kom op.
Nee, het is Guetta.
Go Guetta. Min ik 2.
Nou, dan gaan we, schat. Met Armin.
Hey, it's Ben.
Hello.
Armin?
Hey, speaking.
Hi, it's Ben Murphy from DJ Magazine. How you doing, Armin?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm very good.
Cool.
I'm calling you about the top 100 DJs, 2011.
Yes.
And I want to let you know that it's been a very close-run competition this year, in particular. But I want to offer my commiserations that this year you've not actually come to the top spot, but you've come second this time.
Second. Okay.
But big congratulations, obviously, on reaching that.
Well, thank you.
Spot, and also for winning for the last 4 years, which has been, amazing.
I know.
Unprecedented, really.
I know, and I'm really thrilled about that. So, thank you very much for the call, and I'll see you soon.
Well, thanks a lot, Armin.
No worries, cheers, take care.
Goodbye.
Bye. Nou, nummer 2.
Nou, gefeliciteerd. Toch?
Zat er
Goed,
dik
man.
in.
Ja, dat wist je toch.
Zat er dik in.
Je wist het
Nou ja.
gewoon. En hij verdient het ook. Dus nummer 2, man. Top.
Nummer 2.
Echt goed.
Het was een close call.
Hij kwam nog natuurlijk niet bevestigen dat het Guetta was.
Ja, het is 1 Guetta. 2 ik.
Ja. Nou, top
Dus-
toch?
Ja, Guetta verdient het wel echt.
Ja.
Ja.
Weer een jaar in de top 3, schat.
Weer een jaar in de top 3. Nummer 2. Nou ja, dat is niet slecht.
Nee. Cool.
Ah, ja.
Nou, top.
Yes. That was 5 years ago. The first year, it wasn't me. And of course it was awkward. I was it, and then I wasn't. And 5 years later, still standing there.
Congratulations, Mr. Armin van Buuren.
Being number 4. Well, still a nice spot. And seeing the younger generation taking their chance has something nice to it.
Martin Garrix.
But remember it got bigger and bigger? Yeah, in the 5 years in between, it did get bigger. The EDM scene is exploding, and it has been for the last 20 years. So much that I always wonder, what's the limit? I could have done the same as my friend Tom. He didn't push it. Well, apart from his buttons.
Maar hoe combineer je dat dan met kinderen? Ja, jij hebt natuurlijk niet zo vaak weg. Dat is bij mij natuurlijk...
Ik hoef niet zoveel weg.
En je begint gewoon 's morgens om 9 uur en dan...
4 uur.
's morgens om 4 uur begint.
Ja, en dan van 4 tot 7, half 8. En dan even ontbijten met gezin. En dan vrouw en kind gaan naar school, 7:15. En dan maak ik een run tot 6 uur 's avonds. En dan weer even wat tijd met de familie. En dan eventueel daarna nog een klein beetje. Of een glaasje wijn en lekker horizontaal.
A lifestyle that I can't imagine. But I do dream of sometimes.
And we always, have that idea from it would be amazing that we could sit together in a studio for like 6 months, but we never give us time off. And we also don't have the rest because, in a way, we also need to go on tour. The train is running, and we can't jump off anymore because it goes way too fast. If you jump off, we die.
Of course we can't jump off. First and foremost for the ones who make it all possible.
His music is not from this world. It's like in the moment you start to listen, it changes your life.
It's very special for me.
These people mean the world to me. And apparently, I mean the world to them. I've seen fans coming to every show, no matter where it was in the world.
Maybe you're moody or you haven't slept yet, and there you're walking out of a plane and there they are, 500 fans at the airport. What you gonna do? Some artists just walk away. He can't. That's also the type of guy he is, so he will stand there sign off autographs, everything, pictures.
I don't know how he does it, but when he gets off a plane and there are fans waiting and everything, it's like a big smile, and he pays a lot of attention to all the fans.
But I can see it sometimes in his eyes that he's tired and he just wants to go, and he not always want that attention. He has to be always Armin van Buuren, yeah.
Just woke up after 3 hours of sleep. Look. See, Mr. Jetlag lives right here.
No matter how difficult it is to get to a show, or how depressed I can be because of the grind, when you see the energy of the fans, it's all good. And if I seem like this, it maybe means I made a difference. Which is kind of what I dreamed of doing from day one.
That's amazing.
Each fan is one, and they're extremely important to me. Without them, no show. And there's a show coming up this weekend, the biggest I've ever done. And we're preparing like maniacs, but like I said before, time is really not on our side. There's a clock on one side and a huge arena on the other. And I'm in between. So much to do in so little time. Half a year ago, it seemed like a good idea to make a special anthem for this show. A song only composed for this one important event. And now I'm sweating it out together with my buddy Benno, who I produced together with a lot. And we're working our asses off. Or at least, we should.
We hadden gisteren die steentjes zo lekker, joh, van de Green Egg.
Maar die worden we uitgenodigd?
Zo, nou ja, die gaan we sowieso weer. Maar dit waren hele simpele kippensaté, maar die waren met licht gemarineerd in kruiden. Zo. Ja, we hadden dus 4 met rub gedaan en 4 zonder. Nou, met rub, die was lekker. Zo zonder rub ook, maar dat is gewoon wat neutralere smaak.
Oké. Maar waar heb je die rub dan vandaan nu?
Dat is van die Let's Q. Die kan je gewoon kopen. Die rub is echt lekker. Oh. Ja, was echt. Ik had er zin in nog meer, maar ja. Even kijken, midbaslijn. Dat staat hier.
Die had je al gedaan, toch?
Wat?
Dit is de test. Ja. Even kijken. Hier dan dus. Oh ja.
Ultra, put your hands up! This is a new sound! It's called my sequencer! Fuck!
Zullen we even opnieuw laden dan?
Yeah, this is what you don't see when you listen to a new track. The endless amounts of opening, closing, saving, reopening, saving, editing, going back, opening again of every single track.
Really, we're working on it. This weekend. Loads of work to do. But I can't wait. Tomorrow in Mr. Perfect, I'll tell you something about my real boss.
Armin always said yes.
When you're looking at Armin, you're looking at Erica.
And she was the first one who started saying no.
About working too hard.
He fell asleep on his plate.
He fell asleep during the dinner, he fell like this.
And missing home.